Up. All right, well, here we go, fellas. We got a flashback Friday. We're going to take it back to the 90s, Colorado State Rams. What's going
Yes,
on?
sir.
What's going on, everybody? We got Anthony Hill in the house. Anthony.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got Big Country Brandon Evans.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And then, of course, last but not least, we got the pretty boy Garret Sand in the building.
Tree house.
Man, so it's just letting everybody know that this isn't planned, it's not staged or nothing. I really called y'all just a few minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Some of us haven't spoken for 20 years, but this is what I wanted to do. A few of us have talked, but not as a whole. And I just want to just go back to the days. Let's go back to the 90s on them. And we'll start with Anthony Hill. Can you just tell us, what year it was you came to Colorado State, arrived at Fort Collins, and, where you came from and what year it was and who was the head coach?
Okay, so 1990, I step on the scene, check into Corbett Hall, D wing, the dirty D wing, and Earl Bruce is the head coach at the time. Little young buck out of San Diego, 165 pounds, soaking wet. Can't even bench press his body weight. Just never lifted in his life. Wide eyed and. Just trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah. And who was the coach?
Earl Bruce was a coach. Earl recruited me.
Earl Bruce.
He came in 89, I believe. And then he was there through 92 season before Sonny came. So
And what offense did you run in high school to when you came to Colorado State? Tell us what the why like the football side of why you decided to come to Colorado State and why they recruited you and what you feel and just a little background on that.
Yeah. So. The type of offense we ran, and Garrett knows because we went to the same high school. Excuse me. It was really like it was sprint right, sprint left because I had a dude named Jerome Price that was a state long jump champ and could jump out the gym on most occasions. So I just sprint out and try to throw it to him, or I turn around and hand it to Garrett. That was the game plan. So it was like an offense that really nobody else ran. It was kind of different. And so it was wide open. It just kind of, I guess they try to kind of feature my athletic ability. And, you're in high school, you want to run the ball. So we ran the ball and did what we had to do. But when it was time to throw, I wasn't staying in that pocket. They had me on the edge all the time to try to be a threat that way. And, yeah, so
I
we
remember
did.
seeing you run a few times in college too, bud.
Hey man, sometimes you running for your life. Sometimes you running to try to hurt them. You know what I mean?
Remember one time when Luther Ellis was out there on the end, and he hit me, man, and I knew I was going to get crunched, and I was going, "Look out, man! Look out, man!"
That old lookout block, huh?
A lot of times you can feel those. You feel them coming because it's like, man, this just don't feel right in this pocket right now. I better get my head on the swivel.
Man, so that'll lead us right on over to Big Country. Brandon Evans, why don't you go ahead and tell us where you came in from and how you arrived at Colorado State and who was the head coach when you got there?
Well, right on, man. Yeah. I came in a year after Anthony in 91, got recruited by Urban Meyer out of Ventura High School, which is, I don't know, a few hours north of where you fellas grew up.
Yeah.
Came in with Garrett, Brady, Greg Myers, Sean Moran. That was my class. We were all about half nuts. But you know what? We all loved each other, and we played hard with each other, and we would have went to battle on the field and off the field with each other. You know, that's the thing I got out of it, man, is the camaraderie of my buds. You know, I mean, we did everything together. Hell, me and Garret went camping. We shot ducks out of the river together. I remember Carl Ballard, man, cut the shit out of his eye with one of my 300 Win Mag. Remember that, Garret?
Oh my God.
He looked at me, dude, your scope cut me, man. He was bleeding all over. I just started laughing.
He probably loved the blood. He loved it.
Oh man, they were nuts. You know what? I wouldn't have traded them days for anything. And you know what? I use them days today in my job today. Like Anthony, he's a college coach, man. That's so cool. But I coach people every day, you know, how to cut meat, how to do it right, how to do this, how to make sure your labels are right. I mean, every day that's what we do as coach. And I bring that camaraderie and that attitude, that Sonny Lubick attitude every day, you know?
There it is.
Right. And so that you brought up Urban Meyer. He's the one that recruited you. Is that what was the sale for you to Colorado State?
Well, you guys know me. I like to hunt and fish. You know, my degree's in animal science. I grew up on a small ranch there in California. You know what I mean? So you know, Colorado State to me was
number one in the nation, baby. Number one in the
you know, plus Coach Bruce and Coach Meyer said, hey, man, you know, you might get to play more than just your junior and senior year, you know, and that's what got me. You guys know me, man. I'd have got kicked out of school if I wasn't playing, you know, so it kept me straight. And them saying, hey, you might play 3 or 4 years. All right.
Let's do it.
Coming, you know, because UCLA, all them schools, oh, you probably play your junior year. I'm thinking, shit, that's red shirt in 1 year. Riding the pine for 2 years. No, that ain't for me, man. I want to go play now.
I heard that.
So Earl Bruce was still the head coach, right?
My first 2 years was Earl, and I mean, we kind of towed the line with Coach Bruce, dude. He was pretty demanding, and I'll tell you what, guy, he scared the shit out of me, man. I mean, one time when he hit Cox, and remember, goddamn guard's wrong, and he hit Cox right in the center and just dropped him right on the field. I said, oh, god dang, man. Oh, I hope I'm never wrong.
Cox, I forgot. That's a name right there, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Cox is back.
Yeah.
Cox is back in Colorado, by the way, now. He lives back here. Yeah.
Really, I seen him at a game like maybe 5-6 years ago, and he was living in Chicago, I think.
Yeah. Yep. He's in Chicago.
He's cool.
He's back.
Man. I like that.
He's back now. Yep.
I was gonna say, I think it's Garrett's still driving, huh?
Oh, no, I'm done. I just pulled in where I need to be.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and get situated, and go ahead and let everybody else know when you came in and where you came from and who recruited you, and you know why did you end up at Colorado State?
Well, as Anthony mentioned, we went to the same high school, and I pretty much owe my scholarship to Anthony, because I don't think if they wouldn't have recruited him, I don't know if, you know, they would have been cruising by my high school too much and stuff like that. But no, I think I was like a lot of guys at CSU, like I wasn't heavily recruited and stuff like that. But Earl Bruce, you know, Coach Ellers recruited me. I had a couple of different people recruit me, but when Earl Bruce came to the house and offered me a scholarship offer, really the only offer I'd got before that was Long Beach State, which doesn't even have a football program anymore. So when CSU offered me, I knew Anthony had been there. We had just, you know, won the Freedom Bowl or whatever it was. And I immediately was like, oh, I want to go there. And he was like, oh, whoa, really? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going. Like, sign me up. I want in. So and I was, you know, I was really really happy I went there, man. It was an awesome experience. And you know what, like Brandon had said, the things that I learned there now, I don't think I appreciated as much at the time. So now, you know, I have, you know, wife and kids, and I coach high school ball just for fun, just volunteer. And, man, I love it. And I treat the kids the way Sonny treated us. Like I treat them with respect. I try to be a player's coach a little bit. You know, had some great coaches along the way, but really, like, Sonny sticks out for me as just, you know, who I kind of try to emulate when I coach the kids. You know, if I need to come down to them, I'll come down on them a little bit, but mostly I treat them all with respect. And then for my job, you know, I use everything I learned from playing football too with my job, just how to treat people, how to get along with people of all different backgrounds, you know. And, you know, Anthony, you mentioned, you know, living in Corbett, you know, you grow up in Southern California, and then you go in and you're living with guys from Chicago or Texas or
right.
Ohio, like Zanesville, Ohio, you know what I'm
Zanesville.
You got this kid from Zanesville, Ohio. So, no, man, it was just an awesome experience. So,
Wood River, Nebraska.
Right.
Hey, do you, Brandon, I was just telling Adrian, do you know who I had lunch with 2 days ago?
No, who'd you have lunch with?
Steve Frost.
Did you really?
Steve Frost. Wow.
Yeah, he's moving to Texas. We had lunch down in San Diego, down in Rancho Bernardo, and you know, obviously, you know who his brother is. So
Yeah.
I remember his brother coming to Corbett.
Sounds like
just a little shit.
Sounds like we almost had
rubbing his head and stuff.
We almost had him as a head coach here.
I know.
Sounds like.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Anyway, so that's my story.
There it is. So so that was what, not, you were what year?
I was 91. I was with Brandon, and then the year after Anthony, it was, you know, me, Brady, Brandon, Greg Myers, Sean, you know, James Gregg, Ray Jackson. Yeah. That was the posse,
all the
man.
boys.
That was a squad.
Looking back now, that was a pretty darn good class.
That's a hell of a class right there.
Yeah, that was a good class.
So
impact.
So I guess we gotta skip.
You remember when Brady Smith ripped that speaker off the wall over there at the?
That was you.
No,
he tried to put it on Brady. Yeah.
Brandon, I'm not. Brandon, as soon as you started talking, I thought about that. You were like, I've never been on a plane before. You just got on the plane to come out here or whatever. You were all excited. And I'm like, oh, this guy's a treat.
Yes, sir.
Good times.
Man, well, I'm Adrian.
How about you, Adrian?
Oh yeah. So I'm Adrian Ross, and I guess I'm skipping 92. I came in a walk on the 93, and you know, so that was the start of the Sonny Lubick era. So, you know, that's the main thing, and like that, you know, that's why I want to get us all on the phone, because, you know, once guys leave, you know, you get to look at it, but you only know kind of what you know when you of the people that you know when you were there in the locker room. You know, it's like, you know, like as soon as I got there in 93, you know, I'm this little walk on, you know, that knows football, but I still had some growing to do, you know.
Right.
So when I got there and I saw you guys, I'm looking at Garret Sand like, damn, like that's the linebacker right there. And, you know, I'm looking at Big Country over there. Like Kurt got me out there lined up against them. He attacked it. And the period is called inside run. We got how many run plays? And Kurt on that, hey, run away, backside A-gap. Garret Sand, backside A-gap. You just trust me. Man. Hey man, that was a big experience, you know, changing from high school to inside run college football.
Yeah.
You know? And then I think even more specifically when I look back on it, I mean, you know, that like we've had some lines. We've had some offensive lines. You know, I remember then like there was some big ass tight end, was it Tillman or something? Like our tight end, like the tight end was you.
Tim Tillman.
Yeah.
How big was the tight end?
Dude, that guy was like 6'6", like 280 pounds or something.
Man. Big old
Wasn't he
boys.
big, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So within saying that I came from the Lubick era, you know, you guys were the foundation, you know, for the ongoing, you know, winning championships. I remember that year I was traveling with you guys at the beginning of the year. You know, I had that chip on my shoulder, as they say, by getting there and, you know, not having the scholarship and, you know, just trying to learn the game. And, you know, Kerr was very fundamental. So being in that linebacker room, I was able to be taught kind of the defense overall at a different level. And, you know, and then I knew kind of up in the meetings and I could see you guys weren't their guys. Like, it was like we were the new guys that the coaches brought in, and you guys were the guys already there. And there was a lot of meetings and conversations because you guys had a different style of offense when, you know, when you guys were under the other coach. Can you talk about that, like how that transition was for you, Anthony? Because I know year one, and then, you know, you can talk all the way into year two when, you know, you led us to the championship.
Yeah, so it's funny because when Earl Bruce was there, we were more of a pro style offense, you know, what you see with a lot of what CSU runs now, and then we mix it up and break off and do some other stuff. But back then we did more of the pro style, 21 personnel, and here we come, you know, lead, you know, we coming right at you.
Robust.
And that was what we robust, baby. Earl had robust. That was my baby. That's how I got on the field at first. You know, just get in there, run some option with it, everything. I mean, he would do whatever your skills.
What robust is, because, you know,
robust is an old school full house backfield. Two tight ends, three backs. And the quarterback. I mean, we all within the hash. You know what I mean? All 22 players is inside the hash marks and ready to roll. Man. So I mean that's Earl Bruce's mentality right there, like robust. And we coming at you downhill, and we, you know, there wasn't no way around the physical style that he forced on us, and it was great because we had the right mentality. We were hungry to win. And we had the mentality to do it, and we were mentally and physically tough. And he forced us to be even more so, you know. And so you didn't have a choice.
And so, do you think that, you know, from having that physical mentality that played a part when Lubick and Dave Lay came and went more to the one back and took away that fullback? And do you think that that's why we still had the good power run game out of that single?
I think
back?
so. Yeah. I think that was huge. I think that was huge because, like I said, the mentality was the same. Now we just, you know, we move some pieces around and put them in different places. Now we're not in, you know, what's that 32 personnel? We ain't in 32 personnel. We're in, you know, 11 a lot of the time. That's our base personnel was 11. And it looked different, but the mentality was still the same. We, you know, when we rolled, it was because up front we were good. There ain't no way around it. And I tell the players that are on the current team, I'm like, man, this when CSU goes, it's because of the offensive line.
Well,
that's the bottom line.
You know why we were good up front? Because of our defense. Our defense.
Believe it.
Go against every day, dude. I had to
every
go
day.
Garret Sand, Brady Smith, Sean Moran,
Steve Hodge.
Freaking day. I get in a game and it was like easy, bud.
There you go. He makes a good point. You know, and we competed at practice all the time. I mean, you know, it's legendary how we would physically go out there and fight every day. There was going to be a fight every day, and then we'd go in the locker room and laugh about it. You know what I mean? Like that was who we were, you know, and the camaraderie was there, and the togetherness, man. There's no amount of cohesiveness that I've come across since that era right there. I mean, I can't put into words how, you know, the offense, whatever we needed to happen, we got from whatever side of the ball we needed it from. if the offense was in the mud, defense was going to shut them down, like at BYU in '94. You know, if the defense was struggling, I think of '94 New Mexico. They're going up and down the field on us, but the offense was going up and down the field on them too.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I think Garrett's
just
hit in Arizona.
oh yeah, believe it. I mean, the biggest, virtually the biggest victory in CSU history. You know, happened. It was a defensive play. They trying to smash mouth us, and we hit them right up the middle on a, you know, whatever Brady comes or Garrett comes shooting through the A gap,
Garrett,
or maybe the
what was
biggest.
that?
Huh?
Yeah, Garrett made that fumble, man.
Oh yeah.
Were you on
What was the play? What was it?
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but Lubick's been interviewed and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, Garrett went through the wrong gap. He blitzed the wrong gap. We got lucky."
Probably, but that's
I'm like,
Hey,
whoa! I saw an opportunity. I don't know what you're talking about with that stuff.
hey, and you know as well as I do as a coach, and Adrian and all of us have coached. You know as well as I do. Sometimes those aggressive things that you do, if you're just aggressive, you can make up for a lot of stuff. I mean, you know.
it's called instinct,
Yes, sir.
boys.
Yes, sir.
I say that all the time to the players, like, hey, if you're gonna go off key and do your own thing, make sure you make a good play.
Smack the hell out of somebody, right?
Hey, man, you know, when I was traveling, I think you guys needed help on offense and wide receivers. So I think, you know, Terrence Zeno and Paul Turner were the other freshmen that were playing. And me and Devon Hawkins were the two freshmen on defense that were traveling, but we didn't play. And so, you know, I'm sitting there going to road trips as this freshman, and I hadn't experienced scout team playing y'all yet. I'm still behind Garrett and looking at all them, thinking I'm gonna play. Right? I'm on that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat one of these dudes out. I'm getting in the game, and in the meantime, I'm roommates with Kareem Ingram. And, yeah, so the first night out on the road, man, we were watching TV, and he just came with that, all right, Rook, nighttime, turn that TV off. I'm kind of on that, wait a minute, man, like, what? Like, I'm not playing tomorrow. Like, what? Man, it's like 10 o'clock, man. But dude was so crazy over there. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna mess with that.
You made a good decision on that
one. So that was my first road experience, and I had to ask coach to switch. I'm like, man, can I room with Devon? Like, can they playing room? We can late night Martin or something. But man, you know, that was a great experience, you know, to be able to travel and to dress and to kind of just be right there to see it, even though I didn't play. And then I remember I didn't want to just waste myself because, you know, after game 4, I think we played BYU at home or something, 93. And I don't know if it was Garrett or somebody, you know, like whoever. I was behind Kareem or me and Dietrich or something. But Dietrich tried to go in, and Sladany asked Kurt to put me in. He was just like, nah, put Dietrich in. So I knew I was redshirting. So when we came back to practice, I didn't just want to sit there and get one rep all my freshman year. So I asked Kurt if I could go to the scout team. So I went over there to the scout team to y'all, and I remember all the scholarship dudes are standing on the sideline, making the walk-ons and everybody else. And I'm like, nah, man, that's why we ain't winning no games anyway, man. I'm getting out there.
Right. So
I remember busting Leonis in the head and EJ, and then I'd be going heads up with big ass Brandon, and I'm giving him everything I got just because, you know. And then Urban Meyer was like, hey, 41. Like, don't even know my name. Hey,
don't
41.
know your name.
Keep doing it. Then all of a sudden, y'all have those cards, and then I was having to play Trev Albert, and I was having to play the good guys that you guys are going to be facing that next week. They'd be like, Adrian, like, you're lined up over here.
Right.
You're that guy. So that helped me in my defensive knowledge, because every week after that, I got to play someone else's defense, and I got to go against reps against a great offense.
Right. Scout team is huge, man. It's
Well,
so underrated.
You know what? You guys made all of us better too, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Look at what you guys did in '97, a couple of years after we were gone, man. You know, all of us working hard every day and pushing each other made us better, guys. You know what I mean? And not being assholes about it. You know, there's ways of being leaders without being a jerk. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're absolutely right.
We didn't have no arrogance on our team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know who I think about?
On the field. We had because that's what I was going to go to next. That you guys, that were you guys, you know, having been done before me, you guys were the last of the era where you could do your individual within the team look. Garret came with the high white socks. You know, he had the long hair. You know what I mean? Garret could do his hair and shit. He was looking hard. You know what I mean? A Hill had the towel, and we go with the different colored tights. Y'all can tell them all the different stuff that you used to do. Go ahead. All the different looks, you know.
I was always trying to. I always wanted to, you know, for me coming from I played at a youth football organization that was like the best in the city, and so
VP baby.
Valencia Park, and so
baby.
So you know when you come from a place like that, I could run off a bunch of names and tell you all the guys that came through there that were, you know, NFL stars and all that. But when you play in a league like that, and you know, it ain't just playing. You got to play for one to be able to get on the field and play well. But you also got to look good. It was part of it. You know, it was fashion. I had to have the towel, you know, and it had to be just right, and I had to have the wristbands, you know. In them days,
hey, look
you know,
good, feel good.
Hey man. That's what they say, right? You got to do all that. So, we were forced to do it at Valencia Park, and it carried right on through high school. Garret will tell you. I mean, I had on more towels than I knew what to do with, and you know, I feel like if you look sweet, you're gonna play sweet. So that's what we try to do, man. And I mean, you know, we didn't have the type of stuff that they got now, man. I'm so embarrassed by what I see now. Like, it's an embarrassment of riches for these guys. Now they just get everything thrown to them, and I just had to go to Gojo's and find something, man.
Hey, remember our weight room, the dungeon?
Oh, the dungeon, man. I mean, it's
all these windows. We didn't even have a window.
Oh man,
no.
You went in there to work. That was it.
Oh,
y'all went in there to work. I was other than to twist them bands or whatever the hell they had us do.
Adrian,
no doubt.
Garret, like what was the like you came with the wristbands and the high socks. And
Adrian, I'll tell you
the tuck jersey.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, and the massive shoulder pads that are like.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So.
Well, you had those abs, dude.
We all had those.
Shit off.
What did you weigh?
Yeah.
What was your height and weight, Garret?
When I played?
Yeah.
Like junior year, like 6'2", 230, 235. So, but the White Sox. So the White Sox, we played BYU in '94, and no one remembers this because we beat them. And I tell kids this story all the time when they like have a bad game. I had 7 missed tackles. 7 against BYU. 7. And I thought they weren't going to let me back on the plane. I thought they'd have me like take a Greyhound home. And then I don't know if you guys remember this, but you guys were offense, but on defense, when you walk into our locker room, they had the stats from the week before. And the big thing was missed tackles. You see like 1, 2, 0, 1. Then you had 7. And dude, I was like, man, I'm toast. I'm in a lot of trouble here. And so I stayed after practice a lot that week and hit that sled with Kerr and like watched film. And then we were getting ready. We played San Diego State. Remember, home game next game that. And I don't know what it was. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna change my look here. I'm gonna have white socks and pull on the top. And it was funny. I actually had like a really good game. I had like a pick and a like fumble recovery and a sack, and I had a good game. But so the White Sox
Can't change now.
No, I was like, that's it. I'm keeping the White Sox. Yeah, so
Yes,
I can't
sir.
remember that, Adrian. That's classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's the stuff that I think that, you know, that's what I'm saying about talking about. I don't know, you know, how big that things like that were for younger guys like me, you know, to be able to see. You know what I mean? I'm striving to get to 230 pounds. You know what I mean? So I'm in the weight room, like, you know, that stuff on the board looks like it's for you, but like it's cool to see, like, damn, like he's lifting that, and like he did this many of that, and you know, I'm trying to get there because like you look tight out there, like, whew, like you're tight in that 30, you know what I mean? Like, and we came with that Vegas gold, and you know, I think we were a big part of talent coming to that school, and I think the coaches, Sonny did a great job of your guys' request with the smoke to come out in the smoke, and you know, with the uniform game.
That was Booker.
Yeah, I'm
Booker T.
But like, think about a coach that like just listen to that though. You know, like
that's
there's
a good
a lot
point.
of coaches would have been like, "You worried about smoke?" And so that's what kind of switched up from your guys' era to the 90. You know, what I mean, to mine after you guys left was the rules changed.
No
So
more.
now they started getting on the uniform game. So I'm trying to look like Garret Sand out there, but they're like, oh, hey, nope, you got the wrong tights on, and you're trying to wear these kind of socks. And I'm being viewed, you know, I kind of was viewed a little bit sometimes as like I'm this bad guy, but I'm like, we just did that last year.
Right.
But the game evolves and it changed. And so I was that mesh of we saw you guys and how you were able to do it, and we're trying to make it our own but bring some of y'all's with it, but the rules aren't allowing it. Like the celebrations you guys got to do, I would try to do Jackie Chan, and it would be a 15-yard penalty. You know, and so I'm getting looked at like, oh, he's a selfish guy. And I'm like, wait a minute, Brady and them was out there and they're doing all this, but it was just a different time.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it was different. They changed it for sure.
Yeah. Like I couldn't wear the towels anymore. You couldn't wear a colored towel after a certain time. They all had to be white, you know.
Well, I remember Sean Moran always wore the red bandana. You know,
Yeah,
he always had that red bandana on.
That was that old Dion made that popular in the 90s. The Dion.
No doubt.
The movie, The Program.
Well, plus you got to remember back in the day, our equipment manager Pete, he wasn't giving us nothing. So so you know you could, he wasn't giving out anything. I'm like, man, it's cold out here, man. Can I get some sleeves, Pete? Oh man, no, you don't need no sleeves. You know, it's Colorado. I'm like, come on, man, I'm a quarterback, bro. I mean, geez.
Y'all had Brad, right? Or was I the only one that had Brad?
Eventually, I had it my last year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Brad did it. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Like he put stuff down. He's real.
He's good with it.
He was tight as hell.
Pete wasn't giving up nothing, man. He asked you for, you know, Pete. You ask Pete, go in there, ask Pete for some socks, and you give him back your old ones, and then he go back around the corner and stretch them out and give them back to you. How about these?
hey, and remember his henchman Steve.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I remember
Pat
Steve.
Meyer used to call him like at 2 a.m.
No,
Typical Meyer.
Isn't that funny then? Like back then, you know, like, hey, you think I can get like an extra shirt, mine ripped, and they give you attitude like, well, what do you need a new shirt for? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not asking for a new car here. Can you just hook me up with like a CSU old school shirt, like, or a pair of socks? Like, what's up? Like, and they give me attitude.
Damn.
Like,
oh yeah, like, dude, we're playing football out here. I mean, stuff's gonna happen.
All right.
Hey, y'all were
Fred. We all have Fred.
Oh, Fred, don't even get me started.
Somebody get Fred. I think I'm gonna die.
Is that Prentice? Is that Prentice right there?
No, that was the walk-on guy.
That was P.F. Parker. You guys
P.F.
remember?
P.F.
Right.
Parker.
P.M.
Wow. P.F. Parker.
I
That's
remember all that shit, man.
blast from the past right there.
Who was that?
No, what about Prentice at the conditioning test? I think this was 93, maybe 94. We get back, for camp, and you got to do that 16-100.
Oh man.
P Love. No, it was a shuttle at that time. It was the 25-yard shuttle, and Prentice Davis, man, he's not gonna make it. It's clear. He's probably 3-4 seconds behind, and he gets to that he's getting to the line, and his time is already hit. Prentice dies 5 yards short, and he's just like, oh. Everybody's like, damn, because when you didn't make the conditioning test, you had to do it again. You had to do it every day until you got it.
I felt
during
that my
camp.
freshman year, and every morning you had to get up and try to run
Every day.
No,
that's
know what?
real.
I never went home after that. I stayed and run with the team
Yep.
every summer. By the end of the summer, me and Garret would be running like 22 of them. So 16 wasn't nothing.
It wasn't nothing.
Exactly. Hey, but that altitude would catch fools though. That was
I didn't go back home, man.
Dude,
It'll kill you.
You right, dude. You talking about this is 4 California guys. I know when I came out here, I was in good condition the first time. And I came out here and ran the thing, man. I had no chance of passing it. You know what I mean? And it just taught you, man, you gotta stay up here. You know what I mean? Like you gotta stay acclimated so you could run the dang thing and not kill yourself. So I mean, you had to learn that.
That was the other thing that I was gonna ask the question on was you guys, I think you guys were all there when there used to be the football dorm, and then when I got there, I guess everybody was still in Corbett, or how did it go? It kind of switched up because I remember when I got there, Corbett was a football dorm, and then that was another change that when you guys left, that ended.
Yeah,
so
I think that took a lot of the camaraderie out of it too, man. Because all of us living on the same floor.
That's huge.
We ate, sleep. Breathe, everything together, man.
It was always together. So, if there was a fight, we was there for each other's back. If there was something going on, we knew how. Sigma news, exactly.
Hey, if guys were going to flip over or turn around VWs, we were right. I wasn't in on that one, Garret.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
that goes both ways though, actually. Like, see, I liked that we could move. I think it was cool. You lived there maybe 1 or 2
freshman
years. Yeah. But I did like that when we got to move off because, like my friends I met a lot of friends too that didn't play football, and I'm like, and those guys are still my friends today too. And it was nice sometimes too. Like, shoot, how much time did we spend together as football players with study hall and film and then it's like, okay, this is cool. Let me just like decompress and be like a normal student. That's kind of what I liked. Well, kind of what I liked about living off campus. I felt sometimes like, all right, I'm gonna just pretend I don't play football here. Like, I'm just gonna be like a normal student and like, bike to class and that was kind of cool. So
you're right.
I liked living.
But we were still over there every day, G.
Yeah, we were there every day. Just like kind of like a little break of being like a normal student,
Yeah, it was just my last year. 94 was the year that they changed the all football dorm. And so I basically lived. I was in the dorms for 4 years, and I was off campus for 1. So
okay.
That that was huge, and
and look, we won a championship.
Yeah, man. As soon as we moved off, but the point is, that camaraderie was built those other years. You know what I mean? Like that togetherness, that cohesiveness that we all had. That was formed from us getting ready to go to Gators and Fort Ram and wherever the hell we was going. You know what I mean? Like,
hey.
You got one for me? Come on, man.
Oh, don't even get me started. Did I ever tell you guys a story about Hodge
Watching the
made
Young
me
and
put a dip
Restless
in?
or what?
That too. Me and him used to watch the Young and the Restless. But
I remember.
One evening, it's a Friday evening, we get ready to go out, everybody, doing their thing. And Hodge tells me, "Hey, you dipping tonight." I had never dipped in my life. I never seen dip till I got to Colorado State. You know what I mean?
Dude, Anthony, totally. I never even heard
I didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean?
I had no idea what it was either.
So Hodge, we're always in Hodge's room. He had a single. We in there hanging out. He's like, Hodge, Anthony, you dipping tonight. You dipping tonight.
Y'all got a dip,
I'm like,
me?
yeah. So he physically wouldn't let me out of the room. He's like, you go put this dip in for 10 minutes. If you keep it in for 10 minutes, then I'll leave you alone. I was like, come on, Hodge, man.
Come on.
So Hodge forces me to do it.
Huh?
Yeah, a little peer pressure. So I put this dip in, man, and I'm like sitting here for the first. It tastes horrible, right? I'm sitting here for the first 3-4 minutes. I'm like, man, all right, I'll be all right. This ain't nothing, it doesn't taste good, but I can just let it sit in my mouth for a few minutes. About the 5th minute, man, I start getting a little buzz. I'm like, oh, hold up. I'm getting dizzy. I'm like, come on, Hodge, man, let me take this out, man. Yeah, you got 5 more minutes. And I get all the way to the end, man. I'm dizzy as can be. I'm like, man, all right, you got me. I said I never had to do it again, but that was one of the things. Like, if Hodge said you doing it, you doing it. That's just the bottom line.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Man,
Dude,
I'm gonna wrap it up with I want to give you guys a chance to speak on any of the coaches that from either the first staff or the second staff or whoever you want to bring up that had a real big influence on you in your career there at Colorado State.
I'll let you guys go first.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, man, for me, I mean, it was the whole coaching staff collectively, guys. I mean, like I said, the first 2 years I was there, with Loney and Bruce, it was pretty rough. But then when Coach Lubick come in, it changed, guys. I mean, Coach Lubick, even to this day, when I think about him looking at me and giving me a thumbs up or a pat on the back, it makes my hair stand up, guys. And what I got left, you know what I mean? It just it brings tingles to your body. I would have done anything for that guy. I'd have done anything for any of my any of my teammates. I don't know. That's the way it was, man. So I mean, all the coaches, Matt, Coach Magazoo, and then Coach Bennett, my senior year. He come in.
Mm-hmm.
Mags left my junior year after we won in '94. Then Coach Benton come in my senior year. And he had a great attitude and helped us even grow further.
Yeah.
Like our sign said, guys. Attitude. A little thing that makes a big difference.
Yes, sir.
It's that way all the time, even in our real life. Even with my kids. I tell them, just have a good attitude, guys. If you're not going to be some athlete or whatever, be a good, respectful person. That way people say, oh, I know that Evans, and man, you know what? We like him.
Yep.
And that's the way. That's the way I try to live my life. At least I don't want somebody to say, "Oh, he's a jerk," or or this or that. Nobody wants that. Man, I like Evans, man. What's that guy doing now?
That's right.
So, and I think our coaches instilled a lot of that in us.
Yes, sir. Believe it.
Go ahead, Garrett. What about you?
Oh man, I mean, like, obviously Lubick, of course, but even Coach Bruce. I mean, like, there's lots of things I learned from him. Like some kids, like, oh, I don't want to wear a tie. I tell our kids to take your hat off inside. That was a big Earl Bruce thing.
Yeah.
I hated that. And but now, like, I'll tell them to do it. And then Brandon, like you said, my kids, my 2 boys, my sons, like, I'll be like, guys, attitude. They're like, we know, a little thing that makes a big difference. You quote that stuff, but coaching wise too, like, You know who was an awesome coach for me, man, was Brian, because
Yeah.
Brian, that's when I kind of really started turning the corner too. Brian was like a player's coach because I was, backed him up and stuff. But when Brian became a GA, he started, working with me more as a coach. And man, he was awesome, dude. He just saw the game as a linebacker that I didn't really see before. He started helping me, and he was a big influence. And then I remember things even like, Coach Meyer, I remember like, it was funny. He didn't really start talking to me till I started starting. Like he was, he literally didn't give me any love till I started starting. But I just remember like one time, like Matt McDougal, like kind of rocked me pretty hard, dude, on a block. And I kind of pushed Matt McDougal because he was a freshman or something. And Coach Meyer was like, McDougal, keep doing that to him. Screw him. And I was like, dang, who?
Yeah.
But Coach Meyer was a good coach, that's how he was. And I just remember things like that. Like I loved all our coaches. Skladany was just absolutely awesome. He made special teams fun. I do a lot of things now with our team like Skladany did, like try to make it fun. Stuff like that. So I loved them all, man. They were all good coaches.
Yep. And I'd piggyback on what Garrett said and what Brandon said. I mean, it was all of them. But to be specific, I go back to Earl. He instilled some stuff in me that I, again, you hated it and you think back to it. He told, remember he used to tell people that they didn't know shit from apple butter.
Oh man.
and and I don't even know what the hell apple butter is. I don't know what it looks like. So I'm like,
no, I don't know shit from apple butter.
Apple butter must look just like shit, I guess. But I say that stuff now to this day, like because that stuff stuck.
He did have some humor. He had some jokes every now and then.
Oh yeah.
Remember slow?
Oh yeah.
You guys are slow. SLOY.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, remember when he jumped on the step and he jumped?
Going into the. Oh yeah, that was priceless. But so with him, like it was him, and then when the big change for me was when Sonny came in with his staff, and Fairchild, what he allowed me to do, he took the first spring ball and he forced me to stay in the pocket because you guys know I was going to drop back. I might look at one, maybe two, and then I'm out of there. You know what I mean? Like I'm gone. So he forced me. He's like, look, I don't want you to run this spring. And so I was like, damn, he don't want me to run? I'm like, shit, that's one of my best assets. But then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, shoot, he's trying to make me a quarterback. He's trying to make me stay in that pocket and do what I've got to do and then run as a last resort. And it helped my game so much, and so I owe him a lot for that. And then, like you said, Magazoo was my guy. He always encouraged. He just had a way of encouraging me without saying very much, and I always felt it and always knew he had my back. And then Urban with his, he was such the head game guy,
Yeah.
He would always like. He would like. I remember coming off the field at Air Force after a series. I just incompleted a pass on third down, and I know I should have hit. I think it was J1, and he said something to me, and I snapped back at him, and he just I saw him turn away and smile. Like it was he's just trying to push your buttons. You know what I mean? To get you going. And I was like, fuck, I let him get me. I'm coaching all the young receivers on how to not let Urban get him, and then he got me. So, but I mean, it is what it is. But then, so all those guys mattered, and and then basically Sonny, I tell this one all the time too. It's a quick story. When he first got there from Miami, and everybody's he's telling he's going down the line and saying, look, I just came from Miami, and I wouldn't take anybody at Miami that was in the quarterback room before I'd take you. Now, he said that to me, and now I don't know if it was true or not. I don't know if he believed it, but you know what? I believed it, and so then guess what I did? I wanted to do for him. You know what I mean? I want to go through the wall for him. So
we all believed it, man.
You know what I mean? So like he had a way of making you, understand what he was saying and feel it and want to do for your brothers. And I appreciated him for that. And to this day, I definitely appreciate him for all of that.
Hey, Anthony, that real
Yeah.
quick, dude, that's such a good point, man. Like, he I think the thing that Lubick did mostly is he made you feel confident about yourself, and totally,
Yes.
man. He did that
There's
with the
no doubt about it.
linebackers too. We would watch Miami, dude. We wouldn't watch our film. We would watch Miami Hurricanes film.
Yeah.
So me and Kenya and Kareem would watch Michael Barrow, Jesse Armstead, and Darren Smith. And he would be like, okay, guys, you're just as good as these guys. And I'm like, we are? All right. Well.
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't get an offer from Miami, but okay, that's cool. No, but, and then, no, that's such a good point, dude. He really, really made you feel that way. And, also, like, I think most of the thing, too, and with coaches is, I think later in life, like even Coach Kerr, man, like, at the time, Coach Kerr, I was like, man, this guy's so hard on me. But dude, later in life, like when I'm done playing, I would have great talks with him about like life and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is such a good man. Like, forget football. And yeah, dude. And like, that's the important stuff, man. It's not like, do you make me a better football player? It's like, I realized later, like, wow, Coach Kerr made me a better man. And that's important. So anyway, that was a good point, dude, about Lubick, how he gave you confidence, man. That's true.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, man.
Yeah.
And there he is.
Man, still record. Okay, I want to see if y'all are still in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
phone got too hot. My bad.
Gotcha. We just wrapped up talking about the coaches that, had an impact on us. So how about for you, Big A?
Oh man, I guess I'll go. Like you said, for me, I was such a student of the game that I got a lot from all the coaches. From hearing them, like on scouting, when I heard them talk to you guys, and I was able to understand and be good on defense because I understood the offense. From listening to Magazoo talk to you guys about the blocking and how you do things, and listening to Urban talk, and Sladany, on special teams, and just the passion that he brought. And then I had Tom Ehlers, coming from my hometown, Elk Grove, and there's a lot of stuff as a college student, there's a lot of off the field stuff. I mean, too, that you have to deal with, and there's Johnny Square, Johnny Square to be able to talk to, and guys that there's, because not everything is just dealing with football, So I had a lot of those things too that guys helped me along the way. And like Garrett said, Brian Schneider, football wise, there was a lot of things that he got me to understand coverages, like cover 8, and he's like, hey, it's just like 4. You know what 4? Half 8, 4. Do the same thing, and he just told me, I'd be like, okay, come
makes sense.
Quarters, all right, and so all those guys, Sean and Brady, I think, from them, from all you guys, Garrett on defense, it was like Brandon on offense. There was I could see you guys in practice, and then I could see a different game time. It was different, even when I look back into going into our small locker room, that small stadium, get in there, and it was just like it went to another level, and that's what I was able to bring to my game. Thus the emergence of the Mad Backer. I had to build up to that entity,
Nice.
Yes, sir.
when Urkel turned into the Mad Backer.
Exactly.
I
Man,
remember him and Clark when they both come in, man. They just love it, man. I thought, that's some good ones here, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man. Well, I appreciate you guys getting on and doing it. We got the CSU Throwback Chronicles, the 90s, man. And, you guys are the first guys to get on with it, and just wanted to let
You
everybody.
on to something with this, Big A? Like this is something we got to keep doing because I do this all day now.
Yeah, me
Oh
too,
yeah,
man.
this is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get the next guys up. I'm gonna get old Leonis Brown and